The body under my bed keeps reappearing, and I'm starting to think it's me. The first time it happened, I woke up with my own scream caught in my throat and something wet and soft packed under my fingernails. It wasn't a nightmare, I don't think. Nightmares fade, you can shake them off with a splash of cold water. This clung to me. A memory that felt alien, grafted onto my brain while I was sleeping. The distinct sensation of pushing my fingers into something warm and yielding. The slick, fibrous texture of it. A wet, tearing sound. I could feel the ghost of it on my hands, a greasy film that wouldn't wash off no matter how hard I scrubbed. I stumbled out of bed, my head throbbing, a deep, hollow ache behind my eyes. I remembered shoving something heavy, something that didn't want to move. The thud of it hitting the floor, followed by a thick, wet slap. The desperate animal need to hide it. To just make it go away so I could lie down. So I could just breathe, think. A key scraped in my front door lock. The sound shot through me like a bullet. My brother, Rhys. He has a key. He always lets himself in. My heart hammered against my ribs, a frantic bird trapped in a cage. I glanced wildly at the space under my bed, my mind screaming. The body. Oh God, the body. The door swung open, and there he was, Rhys. Same worn-out jacket, same tired eyes. He's all I have left since our parents, since they were gone. He's supposed to be the one I look after, but he's the one who brings me groceries and makes sure I'm still breathing. He offered me a small, sad smile that didn't reach his eyes. He never says much anymore. My gaze snapped back to the bed. I held my breath, waiting for the world to end. Nothing. The floor beneath the bed was empty. Just dust bunnies and a lost sock. A wave of relief so powerful it made my knees weak washed over me. It was a dream. Just a goddamn fucked up dream. But as Rhys set a paper bag on my counter, the smell of fresh bread mixing with the phantom scent of iron and decay in my nostrils, I looked down at my hands. Even though they were clean, I could still feel it. That slick, greasy film, the grit of bone under my nails. The days after that started to melt together. I'd wake up, not remembering how I got to bed. I'd find myself at my desk at work, a spreadsheet glowing on the screen, with no memory of the drive-in. How long have I had this job? I couldn't tell you. The world outside my apartment felt like a badly rendered video game. Faces on the street were blurred smudges. My phone never rang, never buzzed. It was a dead weight in my pocket. I knew I'd pushed everyone away after the accident, but this was different. This wasn't loneliness. It was erasure. Like I was slowly being painted out of the picture. The only person who seemed to see me was Rhys. He'd still come by, leave food, and give me that same hollow smile before disappearing again. And the feeling on my fingertips never, ever left. Then I woke up one morning, and the date on my phone read Monday, October 32nd. Before my brain could even process the impossibility of the date, the smell hit me. Not a phantom scent this time. This was real. A thick, sweet, sour stench that coated the back of my throat. The smell of old meat left in a hot car. It was coming from under my bed. I didn't want to look. I was paralyzed. But some other part of me, some dark and curious part that had been growing inside me, took over. I leaned over the edge of the mattress, my arm dangling down, and slid my fingers along the floorboards. My fingertips touched a puddle of something slimy. Thick. Congealed. Sticky. A shudder should have run down my spine, but it didn't. Instead, a jolt of something electric, something like pleasure, shot through me. My fingers started mashing the gunk into the floor, smearing it, like a kid squishing a bug. A sharp rap on my front door broke the spell. I scrambled up, my heart seizing. The knob wasn't turning. It wasn't Rhys. I spun around. The space under the bed wasn't empty anymore. I could see the edge of something dark and swollen lying there, directly in the line of sight from the front door. The air was shimmering with the stench. I could see flies buzzing, a lazy dark cloud. The knocking came again, louder this time. "Hello, Mr. Davies? Is everything all right in there? We've had a complaint about an odor, a voice, a real person." My blood ran cold. He knows. The whole world knows what I've done. They can see me. They're coming for me. I flattened myself against the wall, held my breath until my lungs burned, and waited, praying. Just go away. Please just go away. Please just go away. Eventually, I heard the shuffle of feet, then silence. I must have blacked out because when I came to, the room was dark. The sun was down. I checked my phone. No service. Still October 32nd, and under the bed, nothing. It was gone, like it was never there. My sanity felt like a thread, stretched taut and fraying to nothing. My front door creaked open. Rhys. You could knock, I whispered, my voice hoarse. He didn't answer. He didn't smile. He just stood in the doorway, his frame a dark silhouette against the hallway light, and stared at me. There was no pity in his eyes this time, only a cold, hard contempt that cut me deeper than any knife. He knows. He knows. I opened my mouth to say his name, to ask him what was wrong, but before I could make a sound, he turned and walked out, closing the door softly behind him. The click of the latch echoed in the suffocating silence. His leaving didn't bring relief. It left a vacuum. And into that vacuum, the rotting smell flooded back, stronger, more nauseating than ever before. It was inside my head now. It was me. My phone hadn't changed. October 32nd. When was the last time I saw another person? Someone other than Rhys and the man at the door? I don't know. I don't know anything. This time, I didn't just peek. I got on my hands and knees. I had to know. I reached under the bed, my hand trembling, and my fingers brushed against cold, clammy skin. I pulled. A hand came into the dim light. A familiar hand. On the wrist was the faded stick and poke tattoo of a crooked star I'd given myself when I was 16. My hand. My breath hitched. I reached in again, deeper this time. My fingers closed around something solid and slick. A wallet. I pulled it out. Rhys's wallet. A cry clawed its way out of my throat, a ragged, wounded sound. I heard a noise behind me, a soft weeping. I knew that sound. I turned. Rhys was there. But he wasn't right. His head was tilted at a broken angle, his neck a road map of deep purple bruising, dangling like a snapped stem. The look of contempt was gone, replaced by an infinite, bottomless sadness. For the first time in what felt like a lifetime, his voice filled the room, a dry, rasping whisper. Look what you did, Corbin. The words weren't an accusation, just a statement. The rope was still there, a faint impression burned into his skin. He didn't have to say anything else. He just pointed. Down. Right under the bed. I tried to blink it away, to breathe, to think, to wake up. But there was no waking up from this. It was real. It was all real. Etched into the floorboards, soaked into the very foundation of this place for eternity. Not just one body. Two, bloated, swollen, blue.